Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Average Joe's Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Woo!
To my left, I have
Corey the man.
And
my
Scott.
left.
And I'm Jared. Thank you for joining us again on our next episode of Studs, Duds, and Sleepers. Today we're going to be doing the AFC West.
You boy.
Nice.
Got his,
He's representing over here.
Raider Nation.
Yeah, this is the
Skull
AFC.
Vikes.
Get out of here.
I know.
We'll get to you
That's why I
another
kept
time.
it off.
We'll get to you another time.
That's alright. We already did it last episode.
We're going to start off with the Denver Broncos, and we're going to go through our studs, our duds, and our sleepers. And our first stud is going to be not an individual player, but a group of players with the Denver Broncos defense.
Boom!
I mean, with everybody coming back, I mean, most of their whole starting lineup is back and ready to play. So,
Okay. Healthy. Barring
yep.
Wolf's ankle, even though it's just a little, it's like a sprain, he'll be good, he said. He said he's going to be good way before week 1 of the regular season.
Plenty of time for that.
Yeah, and that's just one player. They got Chris Harris Jr., they got Akeem Talib. They're nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, the number one pass defense in the league last couple of years actually,
Yep.
but last year especially, so only allowing 185 passing yards per game, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's phenomenal,
So-
especially for the amount of time they were on the field.
Yep, this took a lot
Ridiculous.
of time. So, no, that's going to be...
Oh, heck yeah. It's going to be phenomenal for them.
It's a strange stud, but they are a stud defense.
No,
They're going to be one of those defenses
great
that people
stud.
are going to probably be looking to draft at like round 12 or 13 rather than, when people go to 14, 15, if you're in a 10 team, for that with standard player depth.
It's one of the reasons why I do not like the Denver Broncos, because their defense is so good.
It's phenomenal.
Every year they've been good.
Weird thing is they didn't get a lot of interceptions, and there's teams that were,
No, but you don't.
18, 19, 20 in interceptions,
Right.
but they only had 14, so they don't cause a lot of turnovers in that aspect.
Right.
They do get sacks though. They had 42 sacks last year, so they were tied for third for sacks.
Von Miller.
So
That's one of them.
yeah, they can put pressure, which is just as important as getting interceptions.
Right.
'Cause that's what will cause interceptions. So you can pressure the quarterback. Trevor Siemian still being relatively fresh. Offensive line isn't the greatest.
Right.
The opportunity's there. So
Oh, yeah.
It's a good stud, man. It's a good stud.
Oh, great stuff. That's honestly the only one that we really have for the Denver Broncos.
we really do.
There's the only stud. I mean, nobody we can put out there that's going
That's
to
correct.
truly produce in a stud fashion. There'll be sleepers, as we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But,
Sleepers, and they definitely have some opportunity for duds.
oh, yeah.
But a dud, which is what
Yeah.
we'll get to next. And Trevor Siemian, he's our dud for the squad.
Definitely.
He has good weapons around him, but if he's still fighting this quarterback fight, as much as they keep talking about in preseason training camp,
Yep.
He's not a clear winner, so
Yep.
it's kind of like them going with we're going with the best of what we have, the best of the
like
worst.
when Houston had to go with Brian Hoyer.
Ugh.
It's like, we just gotta set it.
Ugh.
Otherwise we have Tom Savage, and at the time, Ryan Mallett.
Now-
So,
Now I don't know if you still have that link on the computer, but we saw the divisions of what they're giving the teams. Was it 10-6 for Denver Broncos? They were.
Yeah.
it was 10-6 for the Denver Broncos.
I honestly,
And they had 9-7 for Kansas City.
which
Which
is
is mind blowing,
we'll get to Kansas City in just a
especially
sec,
since they
but,
got better.
Exactly.
I mean,
Nope, I don't understand what they're thinking about that. I mean, the defense is going to have to carry, and I don't know if they're going to be able to carry for that amount of time.
right.
So,
I got you on that one. But
So who's our sleeper though? Let's get to the sleeper part of this.
Our sleeper is that man C.J. Anderson.
okay, okay.
He's got so they bulked up that offensive line. They got the guard from Dallas Cowboys last year, starting guard. They drafted a young man in the second round. And they're beefy guys. So that's the one thing C.J. Anderson needed. And this, I don't know, he got, where's the stats?
So these beefy guys Are they here for run blocking?
They are run block special
Okay.
team.
I don't know if they're run blockers
Yes.
or pass blockers.
Yes.
Because I know they do want to try to go back to the ground game
Mm-hmm.
and try to take, time of possession and have that.
Exactly. Keep the offense on there so the defense can be
Yep.
taking their rest.
Exactly.
They can get better on the defensive end. But
Exactly.
it really depends on how their offense runs, and whichever Simeon, being the quarterback that is now there, he's gonna have to really, really, really step up to
He is.
help his.
Because they are going to need him to be able to move the chain if they get into a third down situation or a second
Exactly.
and long. They're going to have him be able to move the chains. But you don't want to do that if you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Now, C.J. Anderson will be good. I think he's a good sleeper because he's going later in the draft than you would think. I mean, last year he went second round and he made everybody really mad because he didn't perform. He got hurt. In those situations.
Absolutely. Everyone can be,
Yep. And now he's coming back around. You give him 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds depending on your draft and how people are drafting.
Exactly.
So now he's more of a steal because he's still a starter.
Mhm.
There's no one really going to take his spot. Jamal Charles they brought in, but he's been injured through camp, and they were thinking about cutting him. So obviously he's not on the more
Which is
plus
crazy.
side of the Denver Broncos offense. And then you have Devontae Booker, who's also hurt. So again, he's got gap room to take and run away with that job. He's proven it
Easily.
before, and he has the opportunity now.
He's phenomenal. But I apologize, everybody. I made a bad stat out there. The lineman, the left tackle, Garrett Bowles, is actually a first-round pick out of Utah. I said second round. I just wanted to correct that. But the greatest thing about this line is that they still have a returning center, Matt Paradis, and he was graded as the best center in the NFL by Pro Football Focus, and he had 2 bad hips last year, and he's healthy this year. Ron Leary, the guard they got from the Cowboys, he's 6'3", 320-pound guard, and he's going to help pave the way for C.J. Anderson to find the end zone. He's going to find yards, going to find
Him at
everything.
the goal line, you need that wall.
And this is why I love you so much, is because you bring up these players that obviously no one talks about because it's not even in the fantasy. You can't pick up a center. You can't pick up these guys. But for us to understand that these players can block. They got them in the first, second round, whatever the case may be. But open these holes for this player to go, and we're giving you this information because C.J. Anderson can have a killer season with these offensive linemen.
Oh yeah.
And for you to bring that up, I love that. I love that a lot.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate it.
Starts in the trenches, people. The
True.
battle starts in the trenches.
The O-line, just like with most teams that have phenomenal teams, but they can't get things started because their offensive line won't let it.
Mm-hmm.
You could have you could have a mediocre running back like in
Murray.
Yes, and also like Isaiah Crowell. He's a mediocre running back, but since the Cleveland Browns have a phenomenal offensive line, he looks good.
Yep.
He gets yards and touchdowns because
the little things that matter, man.
So C.J. Anderson, who's a better
Hold
talent
on, they're
than that.
linemen. They're big things that matter.
Yeah,
Let's get that straight.
Hey man,
It's
he only played 7 games last year, man. Like 437 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's good for 7 games.
That actually is.
Bring that up. He's gonna easily get 1,000 yards and probably 10 touchdowns. And this is a running back where you're gonna get him in later rounds. He's not one of the
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6, man. He's not one of the most looked at running backs. You're getting rookies taken before him.
Exactly.
Understandably so, but
He's proven himself.
he's proven himself. Yeah, and
But
people don't
in the rushing game and in the passing game.
passing game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then even if you have other players, put them on your bench, or you can even put them in your flex. You got that extra spot.
And he'll be out there on third downs because he's a good pass blocker.
Mhm.
Again,
Exactly.
speaking of the little things, he's a very good pass blocker. So they want him on 1, 2, and 3 downs or third down situations. So
Yeah.
Well, he's 5'8", 224, but boy he can put his body
It's all
on
muscle.
the
You
line.
can pick up
That's
the
all
blitz.
muscle too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh heck yeah, he's like a little brick wall, a little wrecking ball. Try and run at him, he's gonna stop you in your tracks.
Good stuff, man.
I mean, unless Khalil Mack's coming, then you no.
And speaking of a player that didn't play his full season, we can make our transition down here to the Chargers, who's going to be our next team we're going to talk about. One of our studs, and this guy was a stud because, he missed 3 games last season, yet still put up ridiculous numbers, as Melvin Gordon. 13 games played.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, 13 games played, 997 yards, and he had 41 receptions for 419 yards and 2 touchdowns. So not only is he in the rushing game, but he's also very much involved in the passing attack. When Woodhead went down, they threw him in there, he stepped up and played both roles.
Yes.
So
he's a 3-down back. He's not the greatest at pass protection, but he's above average.
We'll see how the offseason treated him in that. See if he learned anything in training camp.
That's one of the things that coach told him he needed to work on was the passing protection. He's got the talent. I remember last year before the season started when his mom dissed him saying, "Hey, I'm not going to buy your jersey until you start scoring." Because at that point he never scored a touchdown. And then he scored 2. I think in the first game. And from that point, he started to go upward in his skill level. And he's got the skill, he's got the talent, he's got the quarterback to give him like a less than 8 people in the box all the time. And with Keenan Allen coming back, who opens up the field, and then Travis Benjamin, who can go straight down all day, that's going to give Melvin Gordon.
Tyrell Williams is also another good. And when Mike Williams comes back, it'll be another one. So that offense will be something to fear because, Rivers produced last year with a lack of receivers. So, lack of receivers, lack of opportunity.
And in this division, I don't like the Broncos the most, and then the Chargers are very second. But with Phillip Rivers doing what he did last year, I gotta commend the guy.
You gotta pay respect where respect due.
He didn't complain. He didn't whine and cry to the management. Hey, give me some better
He
players.
brought his receivers up to another level.
Yep.
Exactly.
Great people bring their players up with them. They don't stoop down to their level. They don't look to run from them. I don't know. Teamwork is literally the most important thing on any team. You could have the worst team, but if they mesh better than every other team, they're going to play better than every other team.
And the great thing about Melvin, too, was that last summer was the offseason work he did with Adrian Peterson.
Exactly.
I think that really
Which was his favorite player.
Looseness and ball and vision and everything like that it is.
Yep.
Don't say ball handling.
It's
Peterson. NFC Championship. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Well, you can still learn from a negative, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You can always learn from the negative.
It's crazy, though.
If anybody knows how to teach him how to figure that out and be like, hey, guys, I might be one of the best running backs of all time, but hey.
You can work on this.
Yes, you can still work on this aspect of your game.
Exactly.
So.
But going in,
that need to.
do we need to talk about the sleeper?
Oh yeah.
Because we talked about him just for a little bit.
Well, we did bring him up for a short bit, so let's give him the full segment he deserves. Let's bring back Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers,
the number 7 fantasy quarterback in Yahoo leagues.
Exactly.
And all these analysts and specialists in the fantasy football world, they put him at number 14 for their consensus ranking. Yet year in and year out, he is a top 10 fantasy quarterback. And again, we just spoke about how he produced those numbers. 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, with who?
Right.
Who? Dontrell Inman.
Yeah.
Tyrell Williams. Travis Benjamin.
That was cute, guys. That was cute.
Yeah, Jinx owe me a soda.
But to me, not liking the
he
Chargers, like I said, not liking the Chargers. But oh my goodness,
he's a scary
for what
man.
he produced on the field last year, that is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yes.
And the number 7 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, you can get him easily late, like 9,
he's gonna have a
You know
great
what?
year
I've
again.
done a few mock drafts. He's going in 11 and 12.
Ooh.
You get
Ooh.
a top 10
Yeah.
quarterback in round 11
Latest
and 12.
To me, Philip Rivers is obviously a top 10. You obviously know that too, but with them ranking him so low, I am so like I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I
If you
can't
miss
believe
out on Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, who usually go in like 4 and 5, just wait.
Just
You
you still got so
you
many.
got
other good-
plenty of depth going in the later rounds.
Yeah.
So
Quarterbacks aren't really you have to worry about until the later rounds a little bit. You just need to focus on getting those good wide receivers and running backs. Those are the big things.
Those are the big money players.
Jared's talked to us off camera, obviously, telling us you guys need to work on your fantasy lives and stop worrying about getting these guys and that guy. No,
Not
okay. Well, yeah.
I know what I'm
But, I've really put that in my head and I said, wide receivers and running backs. Big part of your fantasy team.
you can go for a quarterback all day, but you're only going to get so many more points, from a quarterback where you can have more upside where you go to your skill positions, your wide receivers, your running backs. Why not invest in them?
And those are harder to find than
Exactly.
quarterback
And-
points.
More likely to get injured too, so.
And another thing, pick up a Melvin Gordon. He's going to have a great year. And then, hey, later on down in your fantasy draft, pick up a Philip Rivers.
Hey.
Hey, double the points.
Or
Awesome.
what you could do is, I know we're only doing the one sleeper, but you could also draft this other sleeper that I think on that team. I'm sorry to totally switch this, but Keenan Allen.
Ooh, okay.
We were thinking that.
Here, we did talk about Keenan Allen being the sleeper because of his injury history.
Yes.
But if you look at his stats, per game, if you were to put it on a full 16-game season, he'd be a top 10 wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had him in 2015. He got hurt. I had him in 2016. He got hurt, but his pace was unreal.
2015, the last year where he played more than one game, he played 8 games, and he had 725 yards in 8 games, and he had 4 touchdowns. That is ridiculous. And then now that Melvin Gordon's going off, it's gonna open.
The Chargers are a very balanced team. Philip Rivers can throw. Now that he doesn't have to throw and the run game's available, that takes pressure off him. That makes him a very versatile offense.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities are knocking at the door so long as the injury bug stays away.
Yes.
So that's the Charger curse.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. And then moving to Los Angeles.
We'll see how that changes everything. They're going from the beaches to the trench.
And if I said San Diego any time during this, which I probably did, I meant to say Los Angeles, just so everybody knows. Still in transition phase.
Right.
Their own, I think it was GM or coach called them the San Diego Chargers when he signed in, was sworn in, I guess, how they do with coaches.
Yep.
Introduced.
Well, in the next couple years, guys, we'll be start saying Las Vegas Raiders. So
Hopefully not, but we will.
Vegas? No, they'll be in Vegas. They'll be there.
got any duds on the Chargers? 'Cause I think we got one dud.
One
I know that.
Who do you think the dud is?
Defense could be their dud, but
Yeah.
I just feel
got
like they haven't
potential.
impressed. I feel like they during this later half of the year, they actually stepped up on their defense. That's the only thing I want to put as their dud. Otherwise,
I think Antonio Gates can be the dud.
see, I don't think he's going to be a dud because I think he's right where he should be in the drafts, going
Yeah.
way later. I mean, no one really has expectations of him anymore. They've been saying how last year they were focusing on trying to get him a touchdown record. This year they're just trying to play football, winning football. They want to play winning football. They counted their losses last year. Said, hey, this is what it's going to be. Let's just go for the record. Now they have Hunter Henry, who they want to get the ball and more engaged in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be doing that. Saying, let's just play for the heck of it football.
You're absolutely right, playing winning football, because now you got 3 teams out of the 4 teams that division. Just they're up there. You still got the Denver Broncos. You got the Kansas City Chiefs that are still good, really good, and then now the Oakland Raiders are going to be up there. So instead of just here Antonio Gates, we want you to get the winning record. blah blah blah. No, we want to be able to elevate ourselves up and get there with the competitiveness in our division. Great point, love it, but I just still think San Diego or
Whoa.
Los Angeles Chargers aren't going to be too hot.
Nope, the LA Chargers are. The Gates will not. I don't see him as a dub, but I just don't see him as a particularly engaged player.
Okay.
So.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, the defense, a little shot.
Right, I feel like the expectations for Gates are now.
Yeah,
Depleted.
especially with Hunter Henry starting to put those numbers up and gain that trust.
But here's what we should do, though. Let's put a smile on Scott's face, should we? Let's transition to the Oakland Raiders. And since you're rocking the jersey, I'll show some love to your man, your boy, Amari Cooper.
I'm sorry.
13th overall receiver last year in standard scoring settings and for Yahoo leagues. 1,153 yards, 5 touchdowns on 83 receptions, 132 targets. So he's getting looked at out there.
Yeah, he is.
He's
He's the first
one. That might transition quickly to the sleeper, but not to upset Scott right now.
No, but the deke moves that Amari Cooper can put on the field.
Skip out!
Oh lordy.
He's got good feet.
Oh lordy.
His route running is phenomenal.
Excellent.
One of the best route runners I've seen in the NFL.
I'm so
not ever, but I mean at this time.
Early stage in his career.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he can only get better. Imagine if he learned from Randy Moss, but Jerry Rice.
Yeah. He had 143 fantasy points, standard scoring, Yahoo leagues. Now, there was a man that was we might consider a sleeper that people sometimes forget about, who had 148.3, so 1 point more than Amari Cooper, and that's Michael Crabtree. Crabtree. He was 11th in fantasy wide receiver standard scoring, and he had 1,000 yards on 89 receptions, 8 touchdowns. But he also had the majority of the target share with 145.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little depressed that Crabtree didn't go to the Pro Bowl. He wasn't in the Pro Bowl. But he
understandably
put up good numbers. I mean, Amari Cooper, yes.
Can't put both of the receivers.
I think they should have.
I mean, that'd be cool. They
should have. But that's just me. But Michael Crabtree I believe, is another stud. But
he is. He's forgotten about because he does tail off in the later half. His numbers came earlier in the season.
Yep, and I know that for a fact, watching my team play.
But we'll see how Oakland does, because if none of their weapons tail off like they did this last year, because even Amari
He did.
he did fluctuated. That's gonna be scary. If Marshawn Lynch can play like Marshawn Lynch, keep him honest in the run game. Carr's passing ability, and he loves to take the shots downfield, as you can see. That opens it up for Amari, Crabtree, and whoever else their third's gonna be.
Marshawn.
Wow.
Hey, what's messed up is that Crabtree's average draft position for just wide receivers, he's the 23rd taken wide receiver. There are 22 receivers taken over him, and he is probably better than a third of them.
Thank you.
I got you. I real recognize real. When I had him,
we did.
And then we swapped Amari for him, and then Amari started going off when he was with me.
And he does for Oakland.
Oh yeah. Oh, duds. I'd say their defense.
I was gonna say their defense.
Their defense.
That was the depth.
I'm
so sorry, Khalil Mack. Yeah.
You can't carry the whole thing.
He is the GOAT at his position, but Lordy.
If we had 11 Khalil Macks.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We'd be winning championships left and right.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I mean, and Bruce Irvin's.
I mean, they just let up 20 points in the air. They let up a lot in the air.
We did.
The run game is their run defense is buttercuppy. I mean, Saints were
but in the draft this year, we did focus on a lot of defensive players.
Yes.
So we are focusing on a lot more on the defense than we are on the offense. Obviously, because if you could tell how great our offense is, we don't have to worry about the offense. So our defense shot, but we're still going to be working on defense.
I think it's progressive, but
Correct.
not there yet.
No,
So,
I absolutely
positive
agree.
progression.
A lot of people. So I went to the Raiders and Cardinals preseason game, not this year, but last year, and of course all the Raider fans, being the crazy fans they are, I had people come up to me, mostly drunk, but it's all good. They're like, "Hey, it's our year, man. We're gonna win it." Blah blah. I go, don't know about winning it. We'll get to the playoffs for the first time in 15 years, but we're not gonna win it all.
No.
That's too much, guys. It's too much. But we did make it to the playoffs. Obviously, everyone knows what happened. I was very depressed. I was like 3 or 4 days after hearing about Derek Carr, I was really depressed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would be too after all that battle.
I thought the Vikings had it bad with Teddy knee, but then that was the beginning of the season, and then we had a quarterback who did good anyway. But that's besides the subject. I felt very bad when Derek Carr went down, but that's last year. This year's a whole new year,
oh,
baby.
he is
It's
hungry.
time for people to step
Oh,
up.
heck yeah, they were.
2017, the new year for people to step up.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of stepping up, I think this man's gonna be a total boss. This man from the Kansas City Chiefs. Our
Okay.
next studs, duds, and sleeper
TK?
section is going to be, yes, Travis Kelce.
Hey, hold on. I can't do it sitting down, but this little swaggy dude. Hold up.
I don't want to dance either because I'm not supposed to be dancing.
Hold
Hey,
up. Ooh,
I'll
sorry.
dance along with
Let's
you.
get back to this.
I mean, he led all TEs in fantasy points.
Yes, he
So,
did.
Travis Kelce is a great tight end.
It was
He
just
also
phenomenal.
led in yards and receptions. Didn't lead in touchdowns though.
He only had 4 of those.
Only 4 touchdowns.
Truth.
1,125 receiving yards. Did you know he got targeted 117 times though?
Dude,
He's a tight end. That's wide receiver
pulled down
targets.
85 of those targets.
85. Dude.
Oh, my God.
Y'all, if you play PPR, this is the tight end you go for. I mean, obviously Gronk is gonna always be number 1, but I don't know.
I love that Gronk hype train. Obviously, he is
Health
fantastic, but
But
Kelsey
Travis
is
Kelce,
on
man,
the field. The
all
difference
the
is he's
time.
on the field.
And he's like a receiver. And Andy
Put
Reid.
up with that.
Andy Reid said he wants him to play more receiver this year. He wants to line him up more as a receiver than just a tight end. That's going to be dangerous.
And when you watch on the screenplay he had last year, he can move after the catch.
He's got
He took
wheels.
that
He's
to the
got some
house.
wheels, baby.
I
Yep.
hope
Got that little shimmy. Hold up.
I hope my boys understand this too, and put a lot of pressure on Travis Kelce.
But then you got to worry about Tyreek Hill. Swing.
Chris Conley, who's going to be coming into his own.
Conley. Speaking of
Transitioning to the sleeper.
Chris
Okay.
Conley.
All right. Let's get it.
We got ourselves a sleeper here, baby. Chris Conley isn't your average sleeper because he hasn't putting up many numbers at all. But
that's what makes him a super sleeper because he doesn't have the numbers, but he has the physical ability to get the numbers. 6'3", 205 pounds, a
Great
big
hands.
receiver.
Oh my goodness.
Great hands. He was the 3rd receiver in the depth chart because Jeremy Maclin. Now he's number 2. Technically, he was number 1 because Tyreek Hill is a small guy and he's a speedster, and normally they aren't the number 1.
Wow.
And Chris Conley right now,
Wow.
he is going to have his moments to
And
shine.
you have to think about it, they're willing to get rid of Jeremy Maclin.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously have faith in the progression that Chris Conley is now taking.
They had no remorse getting rid of Macklin either, and he was a baller.
He was.
He was a
He had
baller.
1,000-yard receiver
Yeah.
or years there, and
He's a young
Yeah.
boy, 24 years old, this Conley is, and he only has room to grow. He's gotten better every year. He's getting more receptions, getting more targets every year, and I think that will continue to increase this year.
Good for him, man. Good
and
for
this
him.
is a sleeper that you guys could get towards the end of your draft.
undrafted.
Or undrafted. You could free agent sign him. You guys have the potential to get a steal that nobody else is telling you about.
Put him on your flex. You can easily put him on your flex.
Especially if you go through and you get to the end of your draft and you realize, I want to get rid of somebody, and you see Chris Conley on the waivers,
Scoop, scoop.
scoop him up.
Scoop that
Amen.
like your dog went to the bathroom in your house and you gotta scoop it up. You scoop that.
The things that you come
My
up
apologies,
with,
y'all.
the things you come up with.
PG.
It's just like,
It's like, okay. I'm not saying he's terrible. Okay. Besides the point.
Well, that dud analogy is moving to the dud player.
the scooper upper.
Alright, this one's gonna be a little surprise to people. Possibly.
I mean, people, because he's being drafted so high, 4th or 5th round, you know, this running back here, everybody predicts he's going to be the starter all year, and he thinks he's going to have his 200 plus carries and 1,000-yard year, but that might not be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, Spencer Ware. Now, he had a good year last year, you know, in the limited play that he did have. He had about 900 yards rushing. He had only, 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns? 3 touchdowns. He was involved in the passing game, but again, his issues are concussions. Keep it on the field.
Running backs are always getting hit, man.
Exactly.
And once you get one concussion, you're very vulnerable for more.
And I feel bad for the guy because you don't want to see that. You don't want to have somebody that has a career that has concussion problems.
Well, he was in protocol 3 different times last year,
Yeah.
missing on games. Now the numbers, even though he missed out games, were pretty good for Spencer Ware, and he can play. He's proven before he can play in the system. Andy Reid's a great running back coach. I mean, Niles Davis was relevant at one point in his career, even. Obviously, you had Jamal Charles, so he can produce good running backs, but staying on the field is a majority of the battle.
Yep.
I mean,
absolutely.
You gotta be out there to play. So then with Kareem Hunt looking so good in the preseason, that starts pulling on Spencer Ware's strings and be like, hey, I'm here. So he's either got to step up, and he did get the rushing touchdown, the goal line look, I should say, this last preseason game, but will that maintain? So something you have to look forward to. So if you're getting Spencer Ware, Kareem Hunt's going in the later rounds, maybe look for him as well. Pair him up.
That is your cuff.
Your handcuff.
Yep. You gotta handcuff them together because one does good, the other doesn't. Drop them.
Yep, you might have to move on. And again, the injury will probably keep him further or sooner than you probably think.
Exactly, especially when it comes to concussions. That's brain stuff, man, just like soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
Those are hard to fully recuperate. And
just like you got a guy like Jordan Reed, who if you get so many, you gotta be careful because it's your future, your life at stake at that point.
As well as Luke Kuechly as well.
Yes.
You got a future Hall of Famer in Luke Kuechly, and he has to dwindle down his career because he's gotten his 9th concussion.
Yep.
And you could see the emotion in his face when he got it. He knows what the And so does Spencer Ware and his coach Andy Reid. They know. That's why they put that pick of Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
They had to.
But you don't have to worry about Sharkandrick West, so you're good there.
Yeah,
right.
The forgotten hero.
The forgotten one.
Nice. Nah, I think we did. I think we covered what we wanted to do here in the AFC West. I think we got our studs, duds, and sleepers out. If there's any ones that we missed, you guys might think of, you can always shoot them in the comments. We're willing to talk back and forth with you guys during the comment section. So get you guys' input.
Hit us up on our social media now.
Yep, we got our Twitter pages up.
It is at Average Joe's 2017, all one word. And you can find us there. We will be posting some awesome stuff on there for y'all.
Critique us. See what you want to see in the video.
Rumors, we'll see injury notes, yes.
Yep.
Facebook page will be coming soon as well.
Also breaking news, totally off subject. Newly acquired receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Jordan Matthews, has a cracked sternum.
Oh.
He is week to week, but they're saying they're most likely going to hold him out to let his sternum heal. The bad part about that is he's a human. You don't know when his
timetable is.
And that's next to your heart, man. You can't. Oh, you raising your hand?
I raised my hand.
You can't risk that. That's your life.
High.
I was like, y'all saw it first.
I just want to say, I feel bad for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, their fans and Tyrod
Well, they
Taylor.
got rid of the guy they were worried about injury with, and guess what happened?
Irony!
Exactly.
If y'all ever wanted to know what irony is, that's the literal definition of irony. Trading away an injury-prone player, getting a healthy one back, and him being injury-prone. Injury.
I feel bad. Like the Bills fans are
That's the cause
loyal.
of business.
Yep.
True.
I mean, if you take a trade in fantasy, all of a sudden that player gets hurt the next week.
Yeah.
You took that risk.
Not awkward high five, but we'll go ahead. That was a good.
Or Adrian Peterson last year, if you drafted him. Or traded for him before week 2.
Yeah.
Torn meniscus, and he chooses to take the easy way out and get paid for the whole year. And I don't know.
Hashtag salty.
Hashtag super salty. Hashtag glad he's gone. Hashtag we getting cooked.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
We cooking, you dig?
Right. No, yeah, we appreciate you guys joining us every week. We appreciate you guys,
Love it.
going with us and going forward, as the content progresses and the information comes more smooth and our transitions come more smooth. We thank you guys for sticking with us.
We will be better for you. I apologize for interrupting.
No, and I want to personally thank you for all the things that you've done with this podcast and everything that we've been putting up on YouTube and getting our names out there.
Doing the dirty work.
I appreciate your love, man.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, he's the stone. He's the rock.
He's the stud of us.
The rock.
We're all studs.
You're the sleeper and I'm the dead.
No, you're not. Shut up. Don't talk. Hey, we're the average Joes. We're just
We're all
average.
average
Hey,
here.
we're just
We're all
average,
average
baby.
here. No. But thank you for joining us on this edition of Average Joe's Fantasy Sports Podcast. We hope to see you guys soon. Look forward to it.
We love you.
God bless.
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.